You already read the title, so let's make your shirt go from this to this. That's enough of an intro. We need some stuff, and I'm gonna put a full list of all this stuff down in the description, so don't panic. Turn your shirt inside out and then put it back on. Grab 8 clothespins from your annoying neighbor's clothesline, and we're gonna use 4 on each side to temporarily pinch away that extra fabric. Start near the bottom hem and pinch an equal amount of fabric directly along each side seam. Firmly, but respectfully, we've only known this shirt for like 12 seconds. Match the clothespin on the opposite side at the same height. They don't have to touch, they can just kind of stare at each other longingly from across the shirt. Add the remaining pairs around your waist, near the bottom of your rib cage and just below your armpits.
I'm SD, and if you're new, I show guys like you how to tailor their own clothes at home, but hold on, you've been warned, because it's the most addicting thing in the entire world. So if you're up for the challenge, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, you've been warned.
Maybe you want a slimmer waist and more room through the chest, or maybe you want everything displayed because you're divorced and you're back on the market. Now, those upper pins can be a little bit difficult to place evenly while you're wearing the shirt, so ask someone for help if you need to. You probably have friends unlike me. They all make fun of me for making sewing machine tutorials on YouTube. Joke's on them, my clothes fit better. When you're unsure, remember less, not more. That applies to tailoring, eyebrows, and whatever you're about to send after typing you up to that girl at 1:47 in the morning. Now, ideally, you want to use Tailor's chalk or even some sidewalk chalk, but since you probably don't have either of those, we're just going to use a Sharpie to lightly mark where the pin hits our shirt. Make that mark extremely lightly so it doesn't bleed through. Use barely any pressure and just let the tip lightly graze the outside. And please behave while I finish this sentence. It doesn't need to be heavy at all. It just needs to be slightly visible when we remove these pins and give them back to our neighbor. If your shirt is black or dark blue, it's all good in the hood. You can just use small pieces of tape or even a bar of soap if you like dry skin. Take your shirt off, throw that bad boy on the table, and admire all those tiny little black dots that you somehow let this charismatic man convince you were a good idea. Since this is a rough estimate and we want to replicate this, let's grab a measuring tape to see what we're working with. My shirt is 19 inches or 48 centimeters from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top. Write down the location of each of these marks so you can reproduce the same positions on the opposite side. Mine ended up being roughly these numbers here. Now, as far as this taper goes, my first black mark is about 1.5 inches or 38 millimeters inward from this crappy original side seam. And I want to put a sewing pin there to hold that place. Man, I could have gone so many different directions with my first black. My second mark is closer to 1.75 inches or 44 millimeters, so I'm going to round down just a bit because again, I can always take off more later if I want to. My next mark, I'm going to round down again to 1.25 inches or 32 millimeters because I know that I'm close to my chest, so I want to have more room instead of less if I'm on the fence. If you're going to slim the sleeves as well, you can go all the way up to the edge. Just make sure that you measure that sleeve circumference beforehand to see what you like. But since I'm fine with the sleeves, I'm going to end my stitch under my armpit. So I want to angle outward after this mark and marry it with my armpit seam. Now this very bottom pin on my shirt is 1.5 inches or 38 millimeters, but if I took that measurement down towards the bottom, it would be way too tight around my hips. So I'm going to add 2 more pins and taper that stitch out wider towards the bottom. So I'm going to go halfway and put a pin at about 1 inch or 25 millimeters, and then another one at half of an inch or 12 millimeters. This gradually opens the shirt back up near the bottom and gives my hips some nice breathing room. Flip your shirt over to the other side to do some measuring, and my first black mark is a little bit higher on the other side, and since I want consistency, unlike the Vikings QB room apparently, I'm going to mark 5 inches or 12 millimeters, just like I did on the other side. Whoa, what the rootin' tootin' Packers suck minute we got going on here. Look where my black mark is. It's way further in on my shirt. Oh no, now what? It's fine. Since it's 1.5 inches or 38 millimeters on the other side, I'm gonna do that here. And if I need to take in more later on, I can easily do that. If your workflow is reversed and you were to measure the deeper side first and replicate that on the other side, that's totally fine too. There's like 3 opportunities that we have to try this shirt on and change things around if we want to, so it's all good. Go through and check the location of the rest of your black marks. Mine ended up being pretty even from there moving forward. Now, your sewing pin placement should look something kinda sorta like this. I've got a nice gradual taper from the hip so that it's not tight, and then it flattens out just a little bit in the midsection and gets wider again towards my chest and shoulders. Your pins might be a little bit or a lot of it farther away from your black mark, so it's all good. Those those black marks are just a rough estimate. This is going to be a lot more accurate, and again, we can easily adjust this later on if we want to. Go ahead and pick up a used $40 sewing machine from Facebook Marketplace from somebody with buyer's remorse, and when you do, use these settings, which are also going to be down in the description. Start with a back stitch to lock in your stitch and gradually pivot your hands and sew along that invisible line that you made with your pin. You can draw a physical line in the event that you want to with chalk or a fabric marker, if it's easier. And go slow, take your time, and no sudden jerky movements. Sew slowly towards each pin and remove it before it reaches that presser foot. Don't intentionally run your machine over those pins. Once you get to the end, lock it in with another back stitch. And booyah, we got a much better looking straight stitch along this side here. Look at how much better that looks than before. I used contrasting thread so you can see what it is that it looks like, and if you go watch any more of my videos, shameless plug, you're gonna see me wearing the shirt and only you and I are gonna know that little secret. Before you proceed, feel free to try on your shirt again to see how it feels and raise your arms, twist your torso, and sit down. Make sure you can breathe comfortably, bend over, and legally be allowed around children in that shirt. Since ideally it should be looser rather than tighter, if you want to make it a little bit more snug from here, you can just sew a new straight stitch just inside the old one by about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch, or 6 to 12 millimeters to get a better fit if you want. I do that all the time, and in fact, I ended up doing that on this shirt too. Look closer, there's 2 stitches. We don't want this long tongue-looking flap thing rubbing against us every time we wear this shirt, so let's cut this guy off, leaving about 1/2 of an inch or 12 millimeters on the edge. This right here is the part that we cut, and it's called a raw edge, and it can potentially fray on us, so what we want to do is we want to secure this edge with a zigzag stitch. Back on over to our sewing machine using these settings right here, which yes, are also down in the description again. Position the needle so the zigzag lands on the fabric on one side, and then on the other it comes completely off. On the fabric, off the fabric, on, off. Find a nice steady rhythm and try not to make any eye contact with anybody while you're doing it. This right here, this is the outside of my stitch, and the black marks are nowhere to be seen. I know somebody's gonna comment about that, so I'm just getting ahead of it. And now that all of your t-shirts are gonna fit spectacularly, let's go learn how to make some perfect fitting chinos too. It's in the next video. I'll see you over there. SD out. Deuces.